Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of PLA with myself, Bruno and Nick. We've got two questions today. Both questions do come from estate agents that we work quite closely with. The first one is a bit lengthy, but we'll try to summarize it as best as we can. It refers to, right, Nick, that it states that we have foreigners staying in a complex in one of our properties that we manage. That there is a lease in place that's coming to an end in October, at the end of October, and they've paid rent for August, the tenants, and they have a double deposit, right, the tenants, right? So recently there was a police raid on the premises, and some drug equipments were found, drug manufacturing equipments, for Perlamone, etc., were found in the property, right? The agents and the landlord do not know if the actual tenants have been arrested yet or if they fled the country. They have tried reaching out to them and making communication with them via cell phone, emails, etc., and they've not been lucky. There's been no responses, right? So the question then of the estate agent becomes, what can they legally do in this situation? Because now they want to start advertising the property for the 1st of November, and they have no keys to access the property. And at this point, are they even allowed to actually enter the property, considering that it at this point is essentially a crime scene, one can assume. And then obviously the landlord is now, from his perspective, concerned about receiving rent for September. And of course, then a second element to the question is that throughout the raid, the property was then damaged because things were thrown around. And then maybe a secondary leg is who pays for that. But essentially, what can the landlord do in this situation? There's a lot of breaking down you might have to do. But
so there's a lot of breaking down.
There's a lot of breaking down.
I'll try to be concise, and I'll try to break down the elements. Okay, so the first thing is, in terms of the question that the person who's wrote in, the one thing that is apparent to me is they don't really have clear details yet on what exactly happened in the premises. Okay, and it's very important that is remembered. Okay, what a lot of people want to do when there is some sort of illegal activity on a premises is quickly cancel a lease agreement and get out of the situation. Now, there are certain lease agreements that will have clauses which relate to illegal activities on a premises and will allow you to cancel in circumstances. TPN lease agreement, for instance, has a clause to that effect. And that is a valid way of cancelling a lease agreement if it's within that particular lease. But right now, the details as far as the agent and the landlord are concerned are not exactly clear. Okay, they don't know whether there's been illegal activities. They think there has because there's been a raid on the premises. Okay, but remember, even that raid on the premises does not necessarily mean that there has been some sort of illegal activity. That is a step that the police take in order to determine whether there is at the end of the day. So what I wouldn't do as the landlord or the agent is jump the gun here and try cancel the lease agreement or say that the lease agreement needs to end because of alleged illegal activities. Unless you've got a written lease agreement that says specifically alleged activities or in the event of a police raid, I wouldn't jump the gun and try cancel the lease agreement. The landlord is lucky in the sense that the rental for August has already been paid in the circumstances, and the lease is coming to an end in 2 months, for which they are holding some level of security in the sense that they've got a double deposit in the circumstances. So if I was the landlord, I know this is not an ideal circumstance. You don't want this happening on your particular premises, but I wouldn't jump the gun. The tenants have paid for the particular for the use of the premises until the end of the month. If you don't know exactly what the circumstances are surrounding the police or what has happened on the premises. So for the time being, the landlord, I wouldn't try and move to cancel prematurely. All right. In respect of advertising the premises, which was the second question there, this is dealt with in terms of the lease agreement, or should be dealt with in terms of the lease agreement in any event. So you can go ahead if you're, a lot of lease agreements have to-let clauses, which basically say that you can advertise the month 2 months before the end of the particular lease agreement. Okay, you're obviously, as the agent, entitled to go ahead and use that clause and advertise the premises. Whether you can get in or into the premises or not, okay, that is a trick that every agent experiences, regardless of whether circumstances like this have happened. You must simply try to keep getting in touch with the tenant so that you can advertise the property, accordingly. All right. And then the last sort of element of that question was damages. Okay. Again, so there, it seems to me that there's some sort of speculation on behalf of the landlord, the agent, that there are damages in the particular premises. Okay. But it doesn't seem to be known at this point because they haven't managed to get into the premises. They actually haven't managed to assess whether there are damages or what is the extent of those particular damages. Okay. That, again, will come in due course. Okay. The lease agreement is either going to end by, the elapsing of time within the next 2 months, or, if the assumptions of the landlord or the agent are correct, it seems to me that there's going to be a situation where the next month is going to come and rental's not going to be paid in time. I would highly suggest, if you are a landlord in this situation, make sure you do not wait at this point. All right. If the rental is not paid, make sure you get your demand out so you can terminate the lease legally as quickly as possible. So in this circumstance, make sure you follow Section 14 of the Consumer Protection Act. Okay. And once the lease agreement is terminated, once you've managed to get back into occupation of the premises and you can assess the damages on the premises, then you can make a call about that. It's a little bit premature at this point, especially given the fact that, this tenant has paid their rental for August. Certainly the raid won't give the landlord the ability just to, now quickly take the premises and assess the damages. That is still something that's going to have to dealt with legally. So I understand from the landlord's perspective, this is a very, abrupt sort of thing that's happened to you. But as far as it legally goes, the rents are still paid. You've got to cancel effectively if there is a breach by the tenant. If there is something in your lease agreement which specifically relates to illegal activities, just make sure that you don't prematurely cancel. You've got to find out, were there illegal activities on my premises in the circumstance which would allow me to cancel.
Yeah, well, there you go. Thank you to our Eastern agent. We have Nick. You've actually perfectly covered every angle or sort of question that they had with that specific question. So thank you. And going forward, obviously, they're welcome to get in touch with us, and we can assist them should they need to terminate the lease and anything related to that. And then